Prepare yourself to discover an ancient secret that few dare to reveal. Today I will teach you a ritual so powerful that with just a gesture and a little salt, you can change your destiny. Those who owe you will return everything that belongs to you, and your enemies will have no choice but to beg for your forgiveness. This is not ordinary magic nor fleeting superstition. It is ancient knowledge, passed down from generation to generation, waiting for those ready to take control of their energy and claim what is rightfully theirs. Stay until the end, because what you are about to learn has the power to transform your life forever. Salt was once currency, a trade route, a symbol of spiritual pacts. In ancient Rome, soldiers received part of their pay in salt. That's where the word salary comes from. In Japan, merchants threw salt at the entrance of their shops to ward off bad luck. And here in Spain, for generations, it is still said that throwing salt over your right shoulder drives away misfortune. Different cultures, one common point: salt as purifier and protector. And why does this matter to you today? Because when you understand that something so ordinary has such deep roots, you start to see that it is not just any ingredient, but a force that spans generations. The same salt that preserves food also preserves energy. It absorbs, blocks, and repels. And that is why this ritual works. It is not about belief. It is about activating a symbol charged with intention for thousands of years. Many people fail in prosperity, not due to lack of effort, but because their energy is full of leaks. It's like trying to fill a pool with cracks. You work, you try, you strive, but the energy in your home, family patterns, or even charged objects drains everything without you noticing. By using salt in the correct way, you stop that leak, creating an invisible barrier that begins to repel what blocks your financial, emotional, and even physical life. But pay attention. The ritual is only complete when the hidden element comes into play. And I haven't revealed it yet. If you haven't commented yet, do it now. Type, "I break the cycle of scarcity now." You're not just typing, you're putting a symbolic and energetic end to everything that drains your strength. Do not underestimate the power of a simple act. In the next part, you will discover why salt must be prepared and why, if used incorrectly, it can attract exactly what you are trying to release. You may have heard the phrase, "salt is salt," but spiritually, this is far from true. There is table salt, refined through chemical processes, stripped of its natural minerals, and energetically almost neutral. There is coarse sea salt, harvested directly from the sea, with irregular crystals that still hold the power of water and sun. And there is rock salt, extracted from the Earth's depths, formed millions of years ago in caves and mountains, charged with the planet's geological memory. Each type of salt vibrates differently, but when it comes to energetic unlocking and prosperity rituals, coarse sea salt is the most suitable because it is more alive, more connected to the elements of nature. It not only absorbs dense energies, it also restores vitality to the environment. And here is the key point many ignore: salt cannot be used just any way. Using it incorrectly is like opening all the windows in your house during a storm, expecting it to air out. Instead of cleaning, you could be inviting exactly what you fear the most: scarcity, debts, emotional illness, discouragement, and a cycle that never ends. And here comes the preparation. Salt needs to be activated with conscious intention. It must be awakened. How? Through intention, breath, and symbolism. I will teach you step by step at the right moment. But first, it is essential that you understand why. In Eastern traditions like Feng Shui, salt represents the earth element. It stabilizes, anchors, and purifies. It is used to neutralize negative qi, those invisible forces that stagnate the vital energy of spaces. In African-rooted practices and indigenous rituals, salt is the guardian of the spiritual boundary. It marks what enters and what leaves. And here is a powerful warning. If you use salt with the intention to attract, but you are surrounded by charged objects, poorly placed mirrors, or even people with draining vibrations, The salt will absorb all of it. But if you do not dispose of it properly, it can become a true energetic bomb. That is why preparing both the space and the salt itself is an essential part of the ritual. Without it, what should be protection becomes a trap. At this point, you may be asking yourself, have I ever used salt incorrectly and brought negative things into my life? The answer may lie in the repetitions you experience, debts that return again and again, conflicts repeating in different forms, constant fatigue even after a good night's sleep. If any of these patterns follow you, there is a possibility that you are spiritually open to chaos, but it can be corrected. And this ritual will give you the structure to do it, as long as you follow it exactly as it should be done. Now, if you are truly committed to turning the situation around, comment below. I cleanse my energy and open myself to the new. That comment is not for me. It is for you. It is a seal, a symbolic commitment that your subconscious recognizes as the beginning of change. It is the first step to awakening the ritual within you. In the next part, I will show you how the simple act of writing, breathing, and placing salt in the right spot can seal your home against forces that hold you back and activate a powerful field of attraction around you. But remember, without following the proper order, the ritual loses power, and the main secret, the one that completes it all, is still hidden. If you've made it this far, you already understand that this goes far beyond a trick or superstition. What you are about to do is an energetic ritual with ancestral foundations, powerful symbolism, and conscious intention. But before continuing, there is something fundamental that must happen: your energetic commitment. Yes, it starts with a simple action, writing in the comments. This is not just any phrase. It is a powerful affirmation with words that activate movement within you. When you write, you declare yourself. When you declare yourself, you position yourself. And when you position yourself, the universe responds. So now comment this phrase: I activate my abundance with awareness and protection. That phrase has a triple effect. You commit to the ritual. By writing, you are not just interacting. You are sealing your energy for what is to come. You create a collective field. Every person who comments feeds a vibrational current that strengthens with every word. It is like an energetic circle that grows and connects those who share the same purpose. You send a clear signal to your subconscious. The mind interprets the act of writing as a command. And when that command is clear, positive, and ritualistic, it changes the way you act, react, and attract. It may seem like just another comment, but ignoring this step is like lighting a candle without intention. The flame burns, but it illuminates nothing. Also, like this video, not for the numbers, but for the gesture. Healing the energy of your life also means choosing what you feed. By liking it, you are feeding content of prosperity, protection, and light. You are saying, I want more of this in my life. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now is the time, because the sequence of videos to come will delve into each stage you are discovering today. The ritual is a process, and you won't want to skip any step. Now take a deep breath. Feel the presence of what is coming. Imagine hundreds of people like you writing, visualizing, cleansing, and strengthening themselves. This is not just a video. It is a turning point. The energy you activate here is like a seed. It starts small, but if you nurture it, it becomes a tree, providing shade, bearing fruit. Write in the comments, I activate my abundance with awareness and protection, and become part of this movement that has just begun, because energy is not stored, it moves. In the next part, I will show you why salt is called the essence of life, and why it not only purifies, but also protects, transforms, and anchors your new reality. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a servant walking through a dense forest. He walks for hours, sniffing the air until he finds an isolated rock covered with whitish crystals. He licks it with devotion. To him, that is life. not seasoning, but survival. Salt is not just a cooking ingredient, it is present in the blood that flows through your veins, in the sweat that comes from your skin, in the tears you have shed. It is one of the few elements that exist both in your body and on the planet, in perfect balance, and for that reason carries profound symbolism. Salt represents permanence, purification, and resilience. For millennia, it has been used not only as a preservative, but as a symbol of spiritual alliance. In ancient Rome, a pact sealed with salt was sacred. Breaking it was graver than breaking a legal oath. In many African cultures, salt was used to attract good spirits and ward off disruptive entities. In Japan, even today, every sumo match begins with a handful of salt thrown to purify the space. And here in Spain, we also have traditions that speak of its power. Surely you've heard the expression, to rub salt in the wound, which not only speaks of pain but also of cleansing. In some rural areas, salt is still placed on door frames to ward off envy or the evil eye. In other words, salt creates invisible boundaries. It says, only what cleanses, builds, and protects may enter here. When you understand this, you realize that you are not dealing with superstition, but with a spiritual instrument. But here is the detail most people ignore. Salt also absorbs emotions, stores vibrations, energies, intentions, and this applies both to positive and negative forces. If you use salt only as a barrier, but do not cleanse or dispose of it properly, it is like using a water filter and never changing it. In the end, it returns the dirt it was supposed to retain. That is why the ritual you are about to learn goes far beyond leaving salt in a corner of the house. It includes preparing the environment, preparing yourself, and above all, creating a conscious connection with this element. And understand something important. When you perform this ritual, you are making a pact with yourself and your energy. It is like saying, I recognize that part of the scarcity I experienced came from invisible blockages, and I am willing to release them. That decision alone is already transformative. Remember, salt has memory, and everything it touches it transforms. It can seal a home, cut negative ties, neutralize envy, dissipate anger and fear, but only if it is respected as the sacred element it is. From now on, you will look at salt with new eyes. You will understand that when you handle it, you are touching one of humanity's oldest spiritual tools. Before moving on to the step-by-step, write in the comments, I commit to my energetic cleansing and protection. That phrase is a silent vow, a way of showing that you are not here out of curiosity, but with presence, that you are not just watching, you are participating. In the next part, you will learn exactly what to do, when to do it, how to prepare the space, how to activate the salt, and how to visualize what must leave and what you want to attract. And only then will you begin the most powerful ritual you have ever practiced. But remember, without the final stage, the hidden ingredient, everything remains incomplete. Now that you understand the power of salt, the most anticipated moment has arrived, the ritual itself. And it is not a simple, do this and that's it. It is a process of cleansing and activation that connects body, mind, and energy. You will need 3 basic elements, each with a very clear symbolic and energetic role. Materials. A handful of coarse sea salt, unrefined. A transparent glass bowl, a personal object, something that represents your energy. A ring, a pendant, a key that you use daily. These objects are not chosen at random. The transparent bowl represents clarity and receptivity. The personal object is an energetic anchor, a channel that will direct the cleansing and activation toward you. Abundance is already on its way to you, and the salt now carries this intent. Stage 1. Preparing the space. Choose a quiet place, preferably where you feel safe. A. Turn off artificial lights and, if possible, remain with only natural light or light a candle. Before starting, close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. On the 3rd exhale, imagine releasing all accumulated tension. Now place the bowl in front of you, put your personal object inside it, and cover it with the handful of salt. Touch the rim of the bowl with both hands and say out loud, "I now activate the field of cleansing, protection, and prosperity." This phrase is the opening signal. From this moment on, you are no longer in the ordinary. You are inside the ritual. Stage 2, the right moment. This ritual can be performed at 2 key times. In the morning between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. to activate and attract. At night after 8 p.m. to purify and seal. If you do it in the morning, visualize what you want to attract. Opportunities, money, stability, harmony in your home. If at night, visualize what you wish to release. Debts, conflicts, insecurities, fears. Stage 3, guided visualization. Close your eyes for 1 minute with your hands over the bowl. Imagine the salt beginning to glow with golden light, as if it were alive. This light envelops your object and simultaneously envelops you. Visualize economic problems dissolving like burning papers. Watch debts vanish, contracts open, messages with good news arrive. Feel the air lighten, like a fresh breeze entering through a window after a storm. Stay in this state for at least 2 minutes. Stage 4. The sacred affirmation. Open your eyes and say out loud 3 times with conviction. Where there was blockage, now there is a path. Where there was scarcity, now there is abundance. This phrase seals the field, reprogramming not only the environment, but also your internal vibration. Stage 5. Closing and the fate of the salt. After 24 hours, discard the salt, but never in regular trash. If possible, dispose of it in running water, a faucet, the sink, or even a river. You can clean your personal object and use it again. It is now charged with energy. This is the ritual, simple in form, profound in essence. Write in the comments now the affirmation that seals this stage. I am ready. To receive what is rightfully yours, the hidden ingredient. And remember, there is still one final detail, the complement that transforms this ritual into a true spiritual seal. In the next part, you will discover the secret that closes the cycle and multiplies the effects of everything you have done here. Because up until now, what you have done was only preparation. Without the final element, the ritual is still incomplete. What is missing is the catalyst that not only activates but expands and seals the energy you have just moved. That ingredient is ancient, symbolic, and powerful, the bay leaf. Yes, bay. Much more than a kitchen spice, it was a symbol of victory in the Roman Empire. It crowned generals, poets, and emperors. Here in Spain, we still associate it with protection and good fortune. Think of the laurel crowns on National Day, or how laurel is still hung in some rural homes to attract prosperity. Used together with salt, the bay leaf becomes a true energetic seal. While the salt cleanses and purifies, the laurel protects and expands. It is like closing a wound with a sacred balm. It not only heals, but strengthens. And here comes the most symbolic moment of the entire process. Burning the laurel. Final stage, the seal of transformation. After performing the ritual with the salt, take 3 dry bay leaves. On each, write a key word representing what you wish to attract. Examples: income, protection, freedom, love, clients, recognition. You decide. The words must be direct and reflect what your heart is asking for right now. Step by step, take a heat-resistant plate or ceramic container. Place the leaves on it one by one. With care and full awareness, light the leaves with a match. As the fire consumes the laurel, visualize each spark taking away what weighs you down. Watch as each word burns and rises to the universe as a sacred message. Imagine each spark is a debt dissolving. Each column of smoke is negative energy leaving your home. Each ash is a new beginning planted in your reality. While observing the flame, say firmly, I am worthy of the victory that the laurel seals. What is mine arrives in peace, remains in abundance, and multiplies with purpose. Feel the heat, feel the power. You have just completed an ancestral ritual, respecting each stage, each symbol, and every detail. Final warning. This ritual is not meant for haste or mere curiosity. It is an act that requires presence, commitment, and truth. It should not be repeated daily, because it is not a habit, it is a key. And keys are not used constantly. They are used when the right moment comes. Use it whenever you notice something is blocked, heavy, or stagnant. And each time you repeat it, renew your intention. Never do it automatically. Verbal seal. To close this process, write in the comments, "The sacred fire transforms my reality." Now, this phrase is not just a symbol. It is a final act, a vibration that declares to the universe, "I am ready, and there is no turning back." The essential reminder: in the next and final part, we will close this process with a key reminder and a powerful invitation for those who want to keep this energy active every day. If you've made it this far, you should know something has already begun to move. It doesn't matter if you felt a shiver, a sudden calm, or even an unexpected emotion while performing the ritual. That is the response. Energy answers when it is called with truth. You have activated a field of cleansing, protection, and abundance. And most importantly, you have positioned yourself. Few people reach the end. Few people do what is necessary. You have. Final reminder: energy is like a plant. If you don't care for it, it withers. This ritual is a milestone, but what keeps transformation alive is consistency. Keep your vibration clean. Avoid conversations that pull you down. Be conscious of what you allow into your home, not just physically, but energetically. And return to this video whenever you need to restart with clarity. If this ritual has truly touched you, share it with someone you care about, because prosperity does not grow when hoarded, it multiplies when shared. And now, to close this process, write in the comments, "Abundance has arrived, and I receive it with full awareness." If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now is the time. The journey doesn't end here. In the upcoming videos, you will discover how to keep your energy protected every day through simple, powerful actions in alignment with what you have already activated today. Like, comment, share, but above all, put it into practice, because energy doesn't respond to words alone. Energy responds to action.